Welcome back to the channel. Before we get into the video, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into the video. So you guys know how these videos will say how many sprays you should do of X cologne, and then they go crazy, some crazy number that's not helpful to anyone. They say like 12 sprays, 16 sprays, or whatever, but it's just a blanket statement of how many sprays you should do, not taking into account what your environment is going to be or where you're going to be for that matter, for how long. As someone who works in the office, and this office could mean you're in school or you're like in a type of conference room or just an office setting of about 12 people, 8 to 25 people or whatever, I'm going to give you guys my personal advice on how many sprays you should do depending on the concentration of your cologne. So starting off with an eau de toilette, or EDT for short, we're going to go with the La Nuit, the YSL La Nuit de L'Homme. Now, me personally, I would do no more than 6 sprays. I feel like this is the optimal window for you to have a good scent bubble around you that will last throughout the day. Obviously, you can bring it to work if you want to, but I don't. But if you want just a decent scent bubble around you that doesn't project too much, because again, you're in a closed setting, but just good natural, say 1 to 2 feet bubble, I do 6 sprays. So 1 on this wrist, 1 on this wrist, 1 behind this ear, then sometimes the back of the neck, and then 1 on the chest. Again, no more than 6 sprays. Sometimes I go 4 to 6, but if I was to do 6, that is what I'll do. Now, for an example, an eau de parfum, or EDP for short, you'll do Bleu de Chanel. Again, no more, so you could do 2 to 4, but no more than 4. And 4 is just like the 6, do 1 right here, 1 right here, 1 in the back of this ear, 1 in the back of this ear. That's it. The EDPs last longer than the EDTs, and I generally don't have too much of an issue with them projecting and lasting. Now, I don't really have parfum concentrations, but I have an elixir, which is almost just as strong. Elixirs are pretty strong, and I'll say they last a really long time. I'm gonna say no more than 4 sprays, but generally I go 3 sprays because they last a long time and they also project really well, but they're also really strong, so you gotta be careful depending on what the concentration is. But for Dior Sauvage Elixir, it's a fragrance that a lot of people like, and depending on what I'm wearing, I can go to 4 sprays, but in general, I'll just say 3 sprays. No more than 3 sprays. So again, 1 on this wrist, 1 on this wrist, and then just 1 directly on the back of the neck. That's it. You can wear that, it'll last throughout the day, and again, it'll project well because you covered all the main bases. Now, all these other videos that say 16 sprays for EDTs or 10 sprays for EDPs, it's just, maybe they're just exaggerating. I don't know if they're just being silly, but for us normal folk who just day by day are in the office or just in a closed situation with a lot of people, this is my personal recommendation on the fragrances. If you guys have a different number, let me know in the comments below. But until next time, I'll see you guys around.